really cool technique, and I don't think I've actually done this on any of my videos for you. I'm going to be showing how to do this background for this card. Just to show you what we'll be using in the video today, first thing you need is wax paper. And this is imperative. You do have to have this kind of wax paper for this technique, okay? The dies we'll be using include the Laurel leaves from the Finishing Touches, the new Scripted Happy Birthday die. We're using the Graceful lace trim from our configurations range. I'm going to use the butterfly from the Delicate Garden frame. And we'll put a little bit of a floral element on with the Perfect Peony open petals and the Perfect Peony complete petals. And to do the frame for it, we're going to be using the Noble double pierced rectangles. And the embossing folder I've chosen is the Bed of Roses. Okay. Now, first thing you want to do is take a piece of your wax paper and you want to run it through your embossing folder. So I'm going to pop it into my Bed of Roses. And the sandwich for that is the base plate, the raspberry adapter plate, and your folder in the center there. Okay. Next, take this out. Now you will notice that you will have some splitting with your wax paper. That's perfectly fine. Don't panic. Just try and keep it intact. Set this to the side. Now the other thing you have to have is gloss white card. It's imperative it's gloss white. It will not work with regular card. You're going to sandwich that piece of embossed wax paper between the gloss white with the actual glossy side inward on both sides, okay? Just straighten that up a little bit. Pop that down in place. Now I have an iron here that I'm going to use. This is just an encaustic iron for doing encaustic art. You can use a regular iron because you're not going to come in contact with the wax paper as long as you make sure it's completely encased in your gloss white card. And it's heated up already on high. So what I'm going to do is just iron. I always like to joke that I don't do ironing at home, but I do it when I craft. Okay. Just make sure that that heat will melt that wax paper. So you might even want to just take a second and just give it a quick little look to see how we're doing. And you can kind of sort of see when you do that. I think this is good. I'm going to set that aside. Let me just double check it. Ah, beautiful. So I'm going to turn my iron off so it cools down. There we go. Okay. Now, one of the reasons you use two pieces of wax paper is, or gloss white card, is that you generally will have one that's better than the other, but you might as well have two if you're going to be doing this, okay? It looks to me like this is the better of the two, so I'm going to show you what it looks like from this. So I'm going to take Stormy Sky Distress Ink and a Smoothie, and I'm going to ink this now. So you can see you get a pattern that transfers from that wax paper onto your gloss card, and it's not exactly the same as your pattern on your embossing because you'll get little crinkles and whatnot from the wax that act as a resist. But you can see how pretty this is. Now, you can use it just like this if you like, and I think this is absolutely gorgeous. I'll do a little more here and I'll show you. There you go. So you can see how that's coming through there. You can give that a little buff and just use it just exactly like that. I'm going to take it a step further. Now I've got one I've done ahead of time, so it's already dry and the right size. So I'm going to bring that over and you can see the difference there once it's been buffed up a little bit. I'm going to go back to my embossing folder and I'm going to re-emboss it. So this will add some nice texture to it. There we go. And you've used pretty much all the wax from this, so it doesn't usually work more than one time. You have to redo it from start. So you can even leave it like this. So you've got the very cool pattern coming through with the embossing, but I'm going to just bring it up another step using some chipped sapphire directly over the top of it. So you get a completely different look to it. There we go. Really like the way that looks. Get into the corners here. Okay. I just need to wipe this ever so slightly. Take some of the extra ink off of that. Try and keep it off my fingers there. So you can see what a cool background that makes. I really like the way that comes out. Very, very pretty. Very interesting and textural. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is come back in, and I've already created a frame using the double pierced rectangles, and I've just started to put my Graceful lace trim on the inside there. So I'll peel off the other pieces of my mounting foam here, and we'll finish that up. So I've gone ahead and cut 4 of these. So I'm just going to center them on the inside because they make just a beautiful, nice, delicate little extra addition to the inside of that frame. Pop that around and center that about like that. Make sure it's onto there. And I'm going to add a little bit extra glue because I've inked that just to make sure it sticks nice and well. Okay. So bring this back over, and you want to do make sure that that's good and dry and you've wiped it down. We'll center this over the top of it, and we'll just trim away the extra bit. In fact, let's just go to one side. There we go. And give that a second to set up, and I'll just nip away the extra. It's fun if you do a whole entire sheet at once, so you have extra bits you can use for other projects. But you can see how pretty that looks centered in that frame. Really like that. And then we'll add that to our base. Little mounting foam. Pop that right inside of our pierced edges. There we go. Now the next thing I've done is I've cut several of the Happy Birthday, the script version here. I've done 2 in white, sprayed them back to back with some spray glue, and then I've added an offset black one behind it to add as a shadow, okay? So I'm just going to give this one a quick spray with some glue. Oh, actually, apologize, this one's not attached, so I'm going to do that first. There we go. Offset that a little bit. There we go. Okay. And put that right into the center. Give it a second to set up. Hold that. Okay. And bring my flowers up. I've done some Perfect Peony in the sky blue complete petal with the white edge on them. Really, really pretty. And I am going to put on a piece of white tulle with a glue dot. Pop that right into this corner here. And then we will put our flowers on top of that. I'll sort of seat them around that. Put a large one in there. I've done 3 sizes here. We'll do this medium one down off to the side. So I'm just going to push my tool back out of the way there. And we'll do the little one, kind of in the center corner there. Pop that into place. And you can raise these up and just give them a little bit of movement with your flowers. I've got some laurel leaves that I've already cut out of coconut white card. And let's just nip the end off of this a little bit shorter. And we can glue that under the edge of our flowers. And these have a nice shape to them. They kind of curve so you can have them going both directions. Like that. Make this one come from underneath there. I'm liking that. That looks nice. And just to finish it off, I've cut a couple of the little butterflies from the Delicate Garden frame. And I just think they'll look really cute on the top of this rather than having more flowers. Just a little bit of glue. Always leave the wings upright so it gives a little bit of movement, and just glue in the center there. There we go. Really like the way that looks. And that background just draws you in. I think it's so pretty. And just, you know, depending on what colors you use, you can pick your own colors of ink and have it match any project you're doing, but it's a really nice technique.